Right, my name is N. Surendran, and my co-counsel Edwin Lim. The other people here are Mr. Manikawasagam, Kappa MP. Mr. P. Uday Kumar's mother is present this morning. Okay, and I think also his and his wife is also present. Ms. Indra Devi. We have filed an application for habeas corpus on behalf of Mr. P. Uday Kumar on different grounds from the earlier habeas corpus. This habeas corpus is being filed purely on the medical neglect and the endangerment of the life of P. Uday Kumar. Uday Kumar, who is a diabetic, was denied diabetes medication from mid-February until the 6th of April 2008. As a result, he had to be admitted in Taiping General Hospital on the 7th of April 2008. It was found that his blood sugar had shot up right up to 18.8. Now this was a deliberate denial of medication by the CAM authorities. The consultant recommended that he be admitted at the IJN in Kuala Lumpur, and until today he has not been taken to IJN. The prison authorities have come up with a statement which is a false statement, and the authorities have also said, I believe the minister has said it also, false statement saying that Uday Kumar is refusing to go to IJN. This is completely untrue. I can tell you that Uday Kumar is prepared and has told them that he wants to go to the IJN and that he wants his family and lawyers to be present there. Despite that, since it has been more than 3 weeks since the diagnosis and he has not been taken to IJN. This is shocking not only to us but to the family members, the mother and the wife. They are massively, tremendously concerned about what is going to happen to Uday Kumar. So these are very serious matters, and it is a breach of Article 5 of the Federal Constitution, which says that no person should be deprived his right to life. This is what is happening here. Wanton and unnecessary pain and injury is being inflicted upon P. Uday Kumar by the authorities. My client, who has now been put under detention without trial and is deliberately prevented by this government from speaking out, also asked me to convey this message to the Malaysian public. He says that he would like to see not only himself released from the Internal Security Act detention, but all others who have been detained under the ISA, under this law, must be released. The Internal Security Act is an abomination, and any government that practices detention without trial can only be described as an evil government. There is no other word to describe it.
Actually, I have filed a usul tergempar in Parliament, okay, but on his medical has been rejected. In chamber lah. I filed on the 15th. We have filed in, I think, emergency motion, usul tergempar 7 times, including YB Lim Kit Siang, YB Kapal Singh, and opposition leader Wan Aziza, YB Kula, and myself. And today, I think, yesterday, Gopala Krishnan filed another usul tergempar on P. Uday Kumar. But in chamber has been rejected. Actually, we want the matter to brought up in the day one, and we will make sure all the opposition MP, we will walk out from the Parliament if you don't get the right for P. Uday Kumar medical. And others, we are talking about others, 70 other.
There was one other detainee in the camp itself whose blood sugar went up to 23 and he collapsed. This one Uday Kumar told me yesterday. He actually collapsed because the blood sugar went up to 23. This was another detainee. So you see, we don't have to wait for all of this to happen. And he's very sure that he was able to keep the sugar at 18.8 because he exercised daily. If he hadn't done that, God knows what would have happened to him by now. The minimal damage could have been something else to the heart.
Pharynx is torn, and it's not like what we are thinking. ISA is being taken care. I don't think so.
Is he bedridden or anything like that?
No,
he still can walk and everything.
Of course he can walk, but he got problem with his I just hope IJN will take him to, I hope Kamuting Detention Center will take Kumar to IJN as soon as possible.
When was in Taiping Hospital, they referred him to IJN. They had specifically told Kumar that he would be sent to IJN. In between, they came up and said to him that they were going to take him to Penang Hospital. Okay, for some reason that they wanted to take him to Penang Hospital. On one particular day, they just, when he woke up in the morning, he said, come, we are going to Penang Hospital. He refused to go because when he had spoken to this Taiping Hospital doctor, he had told him that they were going to IJN, and we all know IJN is the institute to go to when it matters concerning the heart. So he refused to go to Penang Hospital. They want to send him secretly to IJN without informing the family. For the past 1 week, I'm one of the lawyers visiting him on a weekly basis. For the past 1 week, I had to call the camp daily just to make sure if Uday Kumar had been sent to IJN. And I want to highlight something. You see, even when he was admitted in Taipei, we had a lot of problems to see him. Okay, we traveled 4 hours from KL to Taipei. They gave us 10 minutes. My mother-in-law, all the way, is just 10 minutes, and we have to fight. If they're going to put him in Penang, I don't know what kind of problem we have to go through. And we are not near to Penang, we are in KL. And we have to fight and fight and fight to see him. And Kumar have to shout. If he's going to shout, he's going to collapse and something going to happen. I don't know who's going to be answerable for that. We don't want this to happen. I think he have to be taken to IJN as soon as possible. And stop pointing. They are pointing. He's saying no, we are taking an order, which is not true. Kumar wanted to go. Everybody care for his health.
So now you file this again.
Yeah.
What is the next step if this is again rejected? What other recourse is there?
Well, firstly, we certainly hope it's not going to be rejected because the grounds of the application are strong, and we are hoping for a very good hearing from the judge. And it's been registered in court number 1, Yang Arif Dato' Suraya, and we are certainly hopeful that the application be allowed. If it is dismissed, then we will continue to do whatever is necessary to procure his release by legal means, and also I think by parliamentary means. Whatever that needs to be done will be done to try and secure not just his release but the others under the ISA.
So on this call, when will you know?
We have filed it this morning. We'll be waiting for a hearing date to be given by the judge. No date has been given. We expect an early date because it's a matter of urgency. I have also filed in a certificate of urgency, certifying that the matter is of urgency because it involves his health and endangerment of his life. We're expecting an early date, and then we will take it when the trial comes, and we will hope for the best, proper outcome, good account.
Wabi, you've been trying, rejected.
Yeah.
So what's?
No, I feel the justice, even we in federal court has been denied, and also in parliament has been denied. I feel if we form the new government, I think definitely we will. The next day itself, we will release the 5 and others, the 70 other ISA, or we have to create another 25 November to go to the ground. That is what I feel. This is 2 options we have. I don't think I feel the court and also in parliament we won't get the justice. We have to go down again, 25 November.
A true human rights lawyer fighting on our behalf. So we want to do something. We cannot just let him stay in there and rot.